Hey guys, Andy Serber here with Gales Harley Davidson, and I'm prepping for our workshop since, I'm out of the office, down in the trenches, where all the work happens, right? So, guess what time it is? It is time for our 2 o'clock workshop. So, today we're going to be talking about tire repair. So, I don't know if anybody's been there. I've had it happen. We did one of these workshops live about a month or so ago, and it went really, really well. It was very informational, and it got great reviews and great questions, because nobody wants to be stuck on the side of the road with a flat tire in the middle of nowhere at who knows what time when your passenger's on the back wondering, oh my God, how long are we going to be stuck here? So one of the things that we like to do is give good information that you can use real time and figure out what the best steps and best practices are in order to combat these situations and get you back to safety. So Ed will be joining us today, our famous technician Ed, which, hey, what's up? Can't handshake, no bumps, no nothing. And he's going to go through the proper techniques as far as repairing a tire. Now, we've got this was a tire that came off of a bike that was damaged, and we're using this specifically because it's just easier to show you how to do it on a tire that has been damaged as opposed to on the bike on the ground. And then that way you just got a better idea of the steps that you're going to have to do in order to fix this and get you back on the road. Now, one of the things that I want to key on, and it'll probably be a question that comes up because it's come up before, is, okay, so I'm on the side of the road, I pick up a screw, I plug it, I fix it, I'm back on the road, I'm good to go, right? Wrong. So we never want to condone or endorse that a repaired tire is okay to roll on extended distances. So once this tire is fixed, you always want to make sure you get to your nearest Harley shop or repair shop and get a new tire on there, because the tire has been compromised at that point. So further damage could be caused, and certainly we don't want anybody to be at risk because of a substandard tire. Remember, this is the only thing separating your butt and the pavement are the 2 tires underneath you. So it's very important not only for you, but for your passenger as well. So we're going to go into the proper steps of fixing this tire. And certainly if you guys have any questions as we go, we'll be fielding those or responding to them after the fact if we don't catch it in enough time. So here we go. Ed, it's your show.
Hello, Facebook. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and repair this tire using this Stop and Go tubeless puncture pilot kit. Okay. Now this can only be done on tubeless tires. So if you're out there on spokes, unfortunately, you're just going to have to call us. We're going to have to pick up your bike. But this is only for mag wheel bikes. Okay. Now remember, anytime you repair a tire, you can only do it within this limit right here. From here to here. You cannot do it on the sidewall at all. So it's only from here to here within the tread of the tire. So what we have here is a screw. So the only thing that doesn't come with our kit, right, is a pair of pliers. So I like to use this little Gerber multi-repair tool that has a pair of pliers and all kind of other accessories. So what we're going to do first is we need to go ahead and mark, if you can, with a little pebble or a marker. If you have a marker or a pen on you, you want to mark the damaged area. This way, once you pull out what's ever in there, you might lose it. You're already frustrated, already probably a little bubbling. So you want to go ahead and mark it so you know where your hole's at. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take this screw and start removing the screw somehow, some way, whether it's unscrewing and then pulling out. We're trying to get the screw out. So whatever we need to do on the side of the road. Now, you may say, what if this part, or if it was a nail and I can't get in there, I can't pull it out? I recommend that you use one of the tools in here and push it all the way through. Okay? Because like Andy said earlier, this is just a repair. It's not going to solve your issue. So that little piece of metal rolling inside, we'll take that out once you come over to Gales Harley Davidson and get your new tire on. So if you can't get this piece out, but you can push it in, go ahead and push it in.
Real quick, Ed, hang on. So one of the questions we had from Robert is how far is an extended distance? So I had said that not to go an extended distance. What I usually tell people is the closest place you can get to a tire would be as an extended a distance. Would you
Absolutely.
agree?
There's for someone to say you can go 20 miles, 40 miles, what have you, just get to your nearest Harley-Davidson dealership, and that's always here at Gale's Harley-Davidson. Okay, so we're going to take the screw out. All right, so we got it out, push, pull, push it in, what have you. Then we're going to open up our kit. And within our kit, we have a bunch of accessories we're going to use. And the first one we're going to use is what they call the pilot. Okay? And it's just this handle piece with a nice little punch or tip on there. Okay, so we already marked our spot. Depending on how bad the damage is, you can see this one really well. But just in case you didn't, you're going to use this tool first. So what you're going to do is, and this is what I was talking about, if you couldn't pull it out, you can always push it in because you're going to do that with this tool anyway. So you want to push in all the way through till you get to the very end of the tool. All right, and what that's going to do is clear it so that when the repair goes in there, it goes all the way to the end. So we're already to the top of our tool, and if you can look on the inside, you see that tool penetrating the tire, because that's where you want the mushroom that's going to make that repair. Now, you don't have to worry about this hitting the rim or anything or damaging the rim. It's just not that strong. Even though the tire is flat, yeah, you might impact the rim because the tire is flat. It doesn't have any air, but you're not going to cause any damage. Okay, so once that's done, is what we're going to get now is our Reamer tool. And that's this tool right here. And what this tool is going to do, it's going to go in that hole, and what usually is smooth, it's going to make it jagged so that when we put our repair in there, it has something to grab onto. It has some bite. So we're just
real quick, while you're roughing up that hole, I had a question from Amy that said, if you replace one tire, do you have to replace both?
You don't necessarily have to, but when you come in, our service managers and service people will let you know if your tire needs to, if the secondary tire needs to, whether it's tread depth or date of the tire or what have you.
So
not
yeah,
necessarily.
Basically it depends on the general condition is what my understanding, and what Ed was saying is that if you have any signs of adverse wear, if you are under a certain level, which typically is 330 seconds as far as tread life or tread wear, or if you're showing any signs of weather checking or dry rotting, or if the tire is actually out of date, then we'll assess the tire that's still good at that point in time. So it's conditional as far as whether to do one or both. And yes, Kevin asked, can you do this while the tire is on your bike? Absolutely. So that's why it's just a little bit easier to show on the video when it's off of the bike, but everything that we're doing externally, we'll give you some insight on the inside that you wouldn't normally get. And that's why Ed had said that you didn't have to worry about any of these tools damaging the inside of your rim, because obviously you can't see what's going on in there. But yes, good question. Thank you, Kevin.
Okay, so we took about a minute or so while answering questions, but that's how long you want to take to ream out the hole. And as you maybe notice, there's a lot we removed a lot of material, and that's fine, because what we did in there, we took something smooth and now we made it rough. So once we've done that, we want to get our insertion tool. We're just going to take the nozzle off the top of that, and then we're going to get one of our mushroom plugs.
Now, one thing that I had learned that Ed had brought up last time when we did our workshop on the Saturday, and we had such great review and repair, that people wanted to know, so you always want to, the bag itself, once you open that up, oh, this is the wrong one, isn't it?
No, that's the one we used before.
So you can kind of see that there's a slick film on there, and that's to keep that rubber pliable, or that material pliable. So once you've exposed this bag, you definitely want to put these in a Ziploc bag so you can keep that level of moisture in there and they don't dry up, because basically a dry plug is pretty much worthless.
No good plug. And besides, this kit's probably sitting in your saddlebag or one of your compartments where it's just sitting in there, so the heat and everything could dry that out. So absolutely, you want to make sure that these things stay
pliable. And moist.
And moist, absolutely. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our mushroom plug stem in first, and we're just going to put that in there, and we're going to use our nozzle to go ahead and push that all the way down. Okay, so once we've done that, what we're going to do is we're going to take our probe tool and our nozzle, and we're going to attach and screw it in. All right, and then using our probe, we're going to push in all the way until it bottoms out, or as far as we can, considering this might be on the rim and it might be on the flat part. But you want to make sure your nozzle is flat with your repair. So once we've done that, we'll go ahead and unscrew this.
So real quick, I'm going to answer a quick question while you're setting that up. So Ty asked, he said, I thought you guys don't repair tires. So Ty, this is actually what we're displaying, is that if you're on the shoulder of the road and you've got nobody to help you, and there's not a tow truck within hours away, that this is a kit that you can carry with you to get you to a Harley dealership or back to us to replace the tire. So normally, no, if anybody brings in a tire that has been punctured or damaged or pierced or slashed or has a screw or a nail in it, then no, we don't do those repairs on site. This is strictly a temporary fix to get you back on the road, get you to your nearest dealership, and get you a new tire on there, because we don't ever want anybody to be rolling on compromised tires. But great question though, Ty, thank you.
Okay, then we're going to screw our tool into the nozzle to the stops. Then once we have that, and inside the kit, we have an Allen key, right? A hex key. And what we're going to do, we're going to screw this all the way down until it stops. And when you get to a certain point, it's going to get a little rough, but you'll know when it stops. So as it's pushing on through, and then, oh, still a little tight, but it hasn't stopped yet. And then boom, it stops. So once that's done, we'll just go ahead and remove the whole tool. And then as you see, we have just a little piece of the repair in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab our pliers. And what we want to do, we want to pull this back to about length of 2 inches, give or take. So we're going to pull that through. Say that's about 2 inches on the pull, and then that's it. And within the kit, we get a little knife. Now remember, the kit does not come with that multi-tool. So you're gonna need a pair of pliers or something, but I like the multi-tool just because of all the accessories it has with it.
Well, yeah, and
but inside the kit, we have a knife, and we're just gonna open that knife and just cut off the remainder of the repair. Flush. There we go. Then also in the kit, we have a compressor. And what we're going to do, the cool thing about this compressor is it also has a light on it. So if you need it, if you're in the dark, you can go ahead and use this light to help you in your repair. So if we just move over here, usually we all have these pigtails on our motorcycles for different accessories that we may have, or a battery tender charger.
And bearing in mind that any bike that we have sold in the last several years, whether it's a new bike or pre-owned, we do outfit everything with the pigtail. So it's already wired up to the battery, and it's already got 12-volt signal.
So we'll just plug it in. As you saw, that's your off and on switch, and it has a light. So we're just going to turn it on, air up our tire. Since that's a front tire, we normally want to go 36 PSI, rear tire 40 PSI.
And the cool part too is that this actually has a gauge So you can watch it running the tire pressure up until you know you're good to go. Or if you get 10 miles down the road and you feel like it's riding sluggish or you're unsure, then you can grab that compressor back out or your tire gauge and make sure that if that plug hasn't sealed 100%, then you have the ability to air that back up on the fly, and you don't have to be at a gas station or something to that effect. So that's always a good thing to have on the road with you for whatever reason. Even if you don't have a tire repair kit and you do pick something up and you recognize that it's feeling sluggish and you can tell that you have a low tire, you can grab your tire gauge, check the tire, potentially find that debris, hopefully it doesn't throw it out, and use this compressor, even if you're not going to plug it or fix it, to get you a couple miles down the road or back to us so we can take care of the issue. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that was about it. So yeah, it does have a gauge, lets you know how much PSI you're putting in, and we can actually come over here and look at the repair and see what the actual mushroom part of it does. And as you can see, it just mushrooms out in order that it makes an airtight seal so that you can put air back into it and continue on.
Now, obviously, you wouldn't be able to see that with the tire mounted on the bike, and that's another reason why we show you guys this with the tire off, so that you can see how that beads up and seals on the inside of that tire to ensure that it's a good solid fit. I had another question. Amy must have come in after we had mentioned it, because she was asking if there's a difference on tires with tubes. So yeah, we'll go ahead and reiterate the fact that typically laced or spoked wheels run a tube, and if that same screw that went through that entire tire, no pun intended, entire tire, if it went through the whole tire, then the tube that's up against the inside of that tire, I guarantee it got pierced as well. So it's been compromised. And unfortunately, the same plug that fixes the tire does not fix the tube. And the whole reason is that that's why the tube is there, is to put an inner seal on an imperfect rim, because it's not a solid rim. And when everywhere that a spoke comes through that rim, it compromises basically the ability for...
Well, it's an air leak.
Right.
So an inner tube takes the place of a sealed or mag wheel, and that's what fills up your tire with air. So, and
it depends on the rim. After 2012, Harley came out with a smooth laced wheel that was actually a tubeless laced wheel, because they had upgraded the construction and made the interior basically airtight. So it really depends on the specific occasion, but the majority of the time, like on my Road King, I run tubes, and so I wouldn't be able to plug it. I'm calling a rollback, or I'm using my hog membership for that free tow that comes with that annually, or I'm calling Gales to see if they have a driver and a trailer available to come pick my butt up. So those are a lot of the options that are there. Let me see, I'm double checking on other questions. Yep, doesn't work on a tube, difference on a tube.
Is the tire repair kit available without a compressor?
no, it comes in the kit. That's part of the whole kit.
Which actually, that really adds a lot of value, because you can use that on, heck, even if you go camping, if you never use the tire repair kit, but if you go camping, you can use the compressor to blow up your air mattress.
Anything that requires air, pretty much.
Yeah.
If it fill up a tire, it'll definitely fill up a camp.
For sure.
Bed,
right?
Or inflatable bed, or toys, or whatever. It even has a tip for to fill up basketballs and footballs.
Oh, so you know, you deflate your football, and then when you get to the campsite, you can pump back up and play a game of toss. Look at there.
Where do you find the recommended tire pressure on your bike?
Well, on the down tube, if you look on the down tube of any motorcycle right here on this Sportster, it tells you the tire size and weight, and then it tells you what size tire, and then it says 30 PSI code for the front, and it's kind of rubbed off with 40 for the rear PSI. So always on your right down tube, it'll show you.
So Dave asked a question, what brand, here's a compliment, what brand is Superman's multi-tool? You've been coated.
Well, this is a Gerber. There's plenty other ones. I kind of had this for years, but it still works. And then it's just a lifetime warranty. So if it ever breaks or something, you can always send them back to Gerber. But any multi-tool really works. So.
Well, it's always something to have. It's something good to
Yeah,
have with
I mean,
you because
you have-
it has multiple tools. There's knives and files and
And
openers
flat
and
tops,
screwdrivers.
and you know, if you open up a can of tuna or what have you, but there's flat tips.
a bottle
there's a
of
knife,
Pepsi
a bottle of Pepsi.
for sure.
If maybe you're out in the backside of the country, and they still have bottles that require you to open them.
So we do have those kits in stock. I've had several people ask, and we just pulled this one straight off the shelf. And it's $67.95. I think it was answered earlier, but just so you guys know, we got plenty of them in stock, and we did that intentionally because the last time when we held our workshop in person, they sold out within like 10 minutes. Everybody got out of the workshop, and everybody bought one of the kits, and so we restocked just for that reason. Because it really is. I mean, nobody wants to be stuck on the side of the road at midnight on the shoulder with a passenger, nobody around, nobody can help. You want to be able to take care of yourself and take care of your people and get out of harm's way. Again, I want to reiterate the fact that a repaired tire is not 100%. The tire quality and performance has been compromised. So this is just a kit and a repair to get you back to us so that we can outfit you properly and then assess the rest of the bike and the other tire to make sure it's in 100% ride quality as well.
How would someone go about buying one of those right now? Would they need an appointment?
So we are doing everything by appointment right now as far as making sure that we're staying within the CDC guidelines. We got our gloves. I took my mask off actually just to do the video because I figured you probably didn't want to hear me talking through this, but it's cool Harley Orange. What? So yes, give us a call. We've got plenty of those in stock. We want to make sure that as far as people that are coming through the shop, we're maintaining an appropriate number so that everybody's being safe. Not only the staff, but all of our customers as well. We can do curbside, we can do transactions over the phone, we can do whatever it takes to make sure you're taken care of. Bear in mind too that we are still doing, our service department is wide open. We got a bunch of specials going on as far as exhaust, our Reinhardt exhaust deal is going on. Our $99 ready to ride package is going on, and that's even got free pickup and delivery. So we're still rolling strong. We've actually had several different departments, cop bikes come through today getting serviced to make sure that they're out there serving and protecting 100% as well. So I didn't see any other questions that have come across.
I think that's it.
Oh, Dave said thanks. No worries, Dave.
Great job, guys.
All right, cool. So thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. And we'll see you tomorrow at 2 for our 2 o'clock workshop.